poem for you. So my poem this morning, before I do my poem this morning, I do have to apologise to any friends in the north. Aaron, how are you doing? Hey, Brian Clowes, I'm getting his name right now. So yes, this morning's poem, it's a very old poem, and it's very different from the other poems that I've been doing, but it was known mostly for Stanley Holloway doing it as a monologue. It's an If you're ready, I'm going to do my worst northern accent ever. Thank you, Victoria Wood. This isn't a Victoria Wood poem, but you'll see where the inspirations come from. It's called The Lion and Albert. Here we go. I'm so sorry, Luke and Nick. Here we go. There's a famous seaside place called Blackpool that's noted for fresh air and fun. And Mr. and Mrs. Ramsbottom went there with young Albert, their son. A grand little lad was young Albert, all dressed in his best, quite a swell, with a stick with an horse's head handle, the finest that Woolworths would sell. They didn't think much of the ocean, the waves they were fiddling and small. There were no wrecks and nobody drowned. In fact, nothing to laugh at all. So seeking for further amusement, they paid and went into the zoo, where they'd lions and tigers and camels, and old ale and sandwiches too. There were one great big lion called Wallace. His nose was all covered in scars. He lay in a somnolent posture, with his side of his face on the bars. Now Albert had heard about lions, how they were ferocious and wild. To see Wallace laying so peaceful, well, it didn't seem right to the child. So straight away the brave little fella, not showing a morsel of fear, took his stick with the horse's head handle and pushed it in Wallace's ear. You could see that the lion didn't like it, for giving a kind of a roll, he pulled Albert inside the cage with him and swallowed the little lad all. Then Pa, who had seen the occurrence and didn't know what to do next, said, "Mother, young lions ate Albert." And Mother said, "Well, I am vexed." Then Mr. and Mrs. Ramsbottom, quite rightly, when all said and done, complained to the animal keeper that the lion had eaten their son. The keeper was quite nice about it. He said, "What a nasty mishap. Are you sure it's your boy he's eaten?" Pa said, "Am I sure? There's his cap." The manager had to be sent for. He came and he said, "What's to do?" Pa said, "Young lions at Albert, and him in his Sunday clothes too." Then Mother said, "Right's right, young fella. I think it's a shame and a sin for a lion to go and eat Albert after we've paid to come in." The manager wanted no trouble. He took out his purse right away and he said, "How much to settle the matter?" And Pa said, "What do you usually pay?" But Mother had turned a bit awkward when she thought where her Albert had gone. She said, "No, someone needs to be summoned." So that was decided upon. Then off they went to the police station in front of the magistrate chap. They told him what happened to Albert, and they proved it by showing his cap. The magistrate gave his opinion that no one was really to blame, and he said that he hoped the Ramsbottoms would have further sons to their name. At that, Mother got proper blazing. "And thank you, sir, kindly," said she. "What, waste all our lives raising children to feed ruddy lions? Not me." There we go. Albert and the Lion. Years and years of training, darling, to do that. Years of training.